I'm playing Clash Royale in the background because I don't have any better gameplay for the background of this video. But I wanted to talk about Assassin's Creed, and whether you love it or hate it, it's a game that it's a good game. Assassin's Creed has been a big part of my life. The first game I ever played was the second Assassin's Creed. The first game I ever played on a console. Sure, I played like phone games and everything, but I think everybody does. But the first game I ever played, like I said, Assassin's Creed. And it's always been a game that's been close to my heart. And yes, I'm upset that they're making a different game besides Assassin's Creed. Like Watch Dogs 2 is going to be really, I think it might be pretty good, but still, Watch Dogs 2 looks like it's going to be a good game, but Assassin's Creed is what I'm here to talk about. Like, I'm bummed out that it's not coming out this year, but that's fine, in my opinion. Honestly, I've seen a little bit of stuff about it. Sorry, that was a weird little stutter there. And honestly, I think that while they have all these different countries to go to that they haven't even tried yet, I think, like, you know what? Something I really want. What I really wanted to say in this video was that I really think they should make an Assassin's Creed in Egypt, and I don't mean like current Egypt or Egypt with any big cities. I think they should make Assassin's Creed in Egypt. I mean, Egypt had big cities, but they weren't like what you would imagine like a big city would be. Like, I don't mean a city that's like a city that we would have today. I think they should make an Assassin's Creed in Egypt, because come on, think of the outfits they could wear. I've always been a big guy on cosmetics, but like, that's a big point of mine. It's Assassin's Creed outfits and statistics and special bonuses that outfits grant you have been a huge deal in Assassin's Creed. So if you put an Assassin's Creed based in a country where they primarily used to wear hoods to block the sunlight, then you could come up with a lot of interesting concepts. Another thing is there's a lot of story behind Egypt. Egypt has a lot of history. It's one of those countries that when you hear about it, you're like, oh, that's interesting, I want to know more. And I've of course, not a lot of people know about Egypt's history. I mean, sure, they know that there was Cleopatra, they had all the pharaohs, and the pharaohs died, but do they know, like, the other stuff that happened? Like, the real grit of it? Like, the stuff that everybody wants more information on, the stuff that everybody knows would be super interesting, that nobody really takes the time to research. Egypt is a really interesting country, and that's all. I've always had that opinion. If I were to suggest any other country besides Egypt, I would have to do a lot more thinking. But just, I've seen a couple. I saw a picture that had an assassin with Egypt in the background. Like, there he was standing in front of Egypt. But my biggest argument that goes into this is that, like I said, outfits and stuff that could definitely provide some nice bonuses, like more than just cosmetic stuff, like interesting outfit bonuses, like, heat and shit, I guess. That's another factor that could play in. Heat and sandstorms and debuffs, or sandstorms could add to could take away from your visibility, make you harder to detect. See, there are so many different ways that Egypt would be the next best country to put Assassin's Creed in. In fact, Egypt has been one of the best countries you could have put Assassin's Creed in forever. Like, since the first Assassin's Creed, Egypt has been on the list. Like, Egypt, if there's any better country, I can't name it, because Egypt has a lot of rich history, and it just seems like if you were making the right marketing decision, you would choose Egypt, because Egypt is interesting. See, note how a lot of desert games are becoming pretty famous right now, like Metal Gear Solid, the most recent one. That was based a lot in a desert, and that desert was probably the coolest map in the game. And then Battlefield 1, it's almost purely desert based in the beta, and everybody loved it. So if you built off of what people have already created, built off of Egypt just in general, old times Egypt, you could have some really interesting shit in an Assassin's Creed game. I made this video for no reason, and let's just keep it that way. I mean, if the creator of fucking Assassin's Creed would see this, hell yeah. Make it in Egypt, dude.